Hi everyone, it's Allison from Phronatiska. Thank you so much for joining me as we color our way through the solar system. Now, so far we have done the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth and its moon, Mars and its moons, the asteroid belt, and then we're out into the gas giants. We've got Jupiter over here with all of its moons and Saturn with its moons there. Now, the next one we come to in the solar system is Uranus. The one that everyone likes to make fun of for some reason. We've got Uranus over there. So Uranus was discovered in 1785 by the astronomer William Herschel. And its name almost was not Uranus. When Herschel discovered it, back then he actually wanted to name it Georgium Sidus, after the English King George III. So we could have had Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Georgium Sidus, but we don't. So they decided they weren't going to go with that name. But yeah, he discovered it in 1785. Other astronomers verified that yes, it was definitely there within the next 2 years. So there we have Uranus there. Now, it is very, very, very blue. If you ever get to see pictures of it, it's really pretty. And it is that color blue because it is mostly methane in its atmosphere there. Now, it takes 17 hours for it to rotate or have a day cycle, but it takes 84 years to orbit. Whoa, getting wobbly, or go around the sun one time. So an 84-year orbit there. Now, that being said, it's tilted over on its side. We've learned before with Earth, with our seasons video, that Earth's axis is tilted about 23.5 degrees over on its side. Now, Uranus, on the other hand, is tilted 90 degrees over on its side. Where, like, if this pencil, just imagine with me, if this were a ball, we've got the North Pole and we've got the South Pole. Instead of it being just over to the side just a little bit, it's over almost completely to the side. So instead of just sort of being tilted as it goes around the sun, it's practically rolling around the sun in its orbit, and that makes for some really strange seasons on Uranus there. Now, it makes for the strange seasons, but it also really affects the day-night cycle on the planet as well. During the summer and the winter, again because of that tilt, a day or a night on Uranus can take 21 years. You think that's a lot? In the spring and the fall, a day and a night can take 42 years. So how much the planet is tilted over to the side really, really affects things. Now, we learned before that Saturn has thousands of rings. Uranus has a couple of rings too. All of the gas giants do to some degree. The rings on Jupiter or around Jupiter are so very, very thin, we can hardly ever see them in any pictures anywhere. But Uranus does have 13 rings, little bitty skinny rings there, and it has 27 moons. Now, it is traditionally lumped out here with the gas giants of the solar system, but astronomers have actually started calling it an ice giant because the makeup of the planet, it's not really gassy, quite like Saturn and Jupiter. It's much more of a slushy consistency. It's basically like a giant Slurpee floating around out in outer space. And another weird thing about Uranus, just like Venus, we learned, is Uranus also rotates backwards. So where Venus rotates east to west, Uranus rotates backwards as well, and that can play into its day-night cycle and its seasons also. So 42 years for that day-night cycle in the spring and fall. That just goodness, I can't even imagine. So if you have any questions about Uranus or comets, please feel free to leave those in the comment section of this video. Thank you so much for coloring along with me, and stick around for the next one. Thanks. Bye.